This episode of The Inspiration Show is so extremely special. I am so beyond honored and excited to leave the light on with the amazingly talented Ken Clark, who is currently portraying the role of Middle Noah on the national tour of the Notebook musical. Ken has been such an inspiration to me for so many years and has had such a meaningful impact on my life and my theater journey. And he truly does it all, and I'm so excited to get to discuss everything. Thank you so much, Ken, for being here. I have so much love and admiration for you, and it is
And I
such
for
an
you. How
honor.
do I come back from an intro like that? My gosh, my heart grew three sizes this day. Thank you for that, Allison.
Oh, you're the greatest. I'm so excited to have you here. Uh, so when did you discover that you had a passion for singing and for theater?
For singing and for theater are two very different dates. When I was in second grade, I was in elementary school, obviously, and it was a public school, and we went to a little music class. And they marched us in there, and the music teacher was like, "We have a choir. Who wants to audition?" Everybody's me, 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 and he would play like two or three notes, and you would have to try to repeat those notes back. And you move on to the next one, two or three notes, try to repeat those notes back. And he got to me and he kept playing more notes and I would repeat them back. And he kept playing more notes and I would repeat them back. And that was the first moment where I was like, maybe I'm good at this. And I've been singing ever since.
Shout out Be Natural if you know, you know.
Oh.
Uh, and and when did theater come into your life?
Oh, theater was later. When I was in high school, I still sang. I sang my way into magnet schools in the public school system in Miami, which was a really good way to get into a decent program, which I did do. And around my junior year, into my junior year, I had a voice teacher who said, the way you sing, I think maybe you should really look into the theater avenue of this stuff. And I quit the football team the next year and did the musical. And we did the Mikado, which ain't nobody doing the Mikado anymore, but we did it. And I played Coco. And I think the moment somebody laughed at something I said on stage, I think I was cooked. I think I was pretty much
Yeah.
locked in from then on.
Oh, getting bit by the theater bug. It's the best
Oh,
thing in the world, but I also love
yeah.
you quitting the football team.
I did, yeah. Yeah, that was my life up until then.
Oh, so what inspired you to become a performer and who has been an inspiration of yours throughout your incredible
Oh
career?
gosh. There's not like one thing where I saw and I was like, I gotta do that. But when I was in fifth grade, we went to with that same choir that I auditioned for in second grade. We went on a school trip. We went on a chorus trip to New York, and we saw Annie Get Your Gun with Bernadette Peters and Tom Wopat. And it
Oh,
was my first Broadway show, and I remember listening to Tom Wopat sing and watching him act and thinking, I can do that. I can do that. I didn't really do anything with it. I didn't think much of it, but I was like, I don't, and that kind of stuck in the back of my head until years later. So maybe that was the turning point. I have no idea.
oh, and what an incredible first Broadway show. That's crazy.
Ms. Peters. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've truly done it all from regional productions to readings and workshops, and you've been a part of theater at many stages of a show's journey. So what
Yeah.
excites you most about being in the room where a story is still taking shape? And are there any regional theater productions that you've been a part of that stand out to you?
Oh gosh, yeah. So my first 10 years were doing regional productions. I could stay in New York and wait tables, or I could take a regional lead and go do that. And I learned a lot about, you know, leading a company, even if it's 2 or 3 months at a time. I've done three productions of Camelot in my life regionally.
Here
I've
and
played
I
three.
got.
I love this play, and I did it once when I was just starting out. I did it once about 8 years later, and I did it again like 7 years after that. And at three different points in my career, I learned three different things about how to tell that story. And it's been interesting to have that sort of check mark as I go through my career because I feel like I'm losing the plot a little bit here, but those were very formative for me and my confidence as a storyteller. So I relish my time in regional theater. And as far as new works, I love it. I absolutely love new works. Not to take anything away from my notebook experience, but there's a special thrill to solving a problem for a writer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you do it often through instinct. Sometimes you do it through work, just like just sitting down and trying to crack whatever has to happen in a scene. But it's not something you always get to do as an actor. But when you feel that you've actually contributed to the development of something, I mean, that's a rare gift. And I've had it a couple times in my life, and I treasure it every time it happens.
Yeah. And I love that experience for you getting to revisit a role after like time has gone by. I'm getting to do that right now with my graduating show as a senior in high school. My graduating show in my arts education school in elementary school, I'm playing the same role in A
Oh
Midsummer
my
Night's Dream.
gosh.
And it's
What
so
is it?
I'm playing Peter Quince in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Oh,
God, I get my life to do Shakespeare again. I haven't done it since
yeah.
college, man.
Oh,
Oh,
it's the
are you
greatest.
having the best time? I mean,
It's the greatest. And getting to revisit a role at 17 that I played at 13 with all this training
oh
that
my
I
gosh, yeah.
gathered, like, I can't imagine what that experience must have been like for you, especially with Camelot. But getting to
Yeah.
do that as you've grown and you realize how you've grown as an actor and as a person, but you're saying the same words and playing the same role, but you're doing it so differently. And
Yeah,
that is an
it's
experience like no other.
and it's funny you have you say things in a certain rhythm, obviously, especially in Shakespeare, and
Yeah.
trying to overcome that muscle memory to do a different production is a whole other element of performative exercise that you don't usually get to do because you can't repeat. You must not go back, you must move forward. And fighting against that pull is good work.
Yeah. So, out of all the roles you've stepped into regionally or in developmental projects, are there a few that particularly stand out to you?
Oh my gosh. In developmental projects, are you angling at one in specific?
No, both. I mean, you've done so many of both of them.
No, no,
So,
the big one for me, certainly at the time, was when I was 24 or 5. I booked the role of Bucky Jr. in Moonshine, that Hee Haw musical. And I think we all know where that ended up going. And it was one of those experiences where I was in the room with people who had such pedigrees that I was just constantly like pinching myself, like, is this really happening? Am I really, is this happening? Like Gary Griffin, Robert Horn, Shane and Brandy. It was just like, just take a deep breath, try to show up and do the best you can tomorrow. Try to do the best you can. I kept my head over the waterline, but felt like just barely. And I had those moments of they're listening to my input. These award-winning creatives are listening to things that I have to say, and did such wonders for my confidence as far as being a part of developing these shows that was a big one for me. It was that whole experience. Wouldn't trade it for anything.
those pinch me moments in the theater when you get to work with your heroes, those are the greatest.
It was
Those are,
unbelievable.
yeah.
So, and plus, I got to meet Kevin Cahoon, who is, oh, if I could be more like one person I've ever worked with, I would like to be more like Kevin Cahoon.
Oh, I
He
mean,
is,
yeah.
he's unbelievable.
Yeah, that he is. Oh, he's incredible. So in 2011, you embarked on the national tour of La Cage aux Follies. So
Oh my
can you
gosh.
walk us through your journey with the show and what your overall experience was like touring? Because I don't know anything about your journey with this show, so I'm so excited.
It was brief but wonderful. I was only on tour for like 2 months. We were just, it's so crazy you bring that up. Last night we played our last show in Des Moines at the Civic Center.
Yeah,
That's where we teched and opened La Cage, is at the Civic Center in Des Moines.
no way.
Yahweh. And so I was so green. I was 23, I think. It was my first job that wasn't like a regional gig or anything like that. And I understudied the son. I played Etienne, and I met such wonderful people who were very patient with me. I mean, I was a dumb kid, man. I drank too much. I was late to rehearsal. I didn't quite ruin the show, but like, I just wasn't very professional.
Okay, we all have those first
I
professional
know,
jobs.
I
It's
know.
okay.
But everyone was great, and again, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, and I watched Christopher Sieber turn in a performance every night that abs really did inspire me. I would stand in the wings and watch him do "I Am What I Am" every night
Oh,
because I mean, the guy just. He's a powerhouse, and he showed up. first, he left last, he had a good attitude, he always paid for drinks, he led the company, and I took a lot of mental notes on how he conducted himself during that whole process.
Oh, what
Yeah.
an iconic and beloved show. And for that to
Yeah.
be your first professional job is just, I can't imagine what that was like for you.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay, we gotta buckle up for this next one because you know where
Uh-oh.
we're going. You know where we're going. Okay. In 2013, you began your journey with Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812. So you were part of the show from its pre-Broadway productions to regional runs and then ultimately Broadway. So what was it like being part of the early beginnings of this iconic and beloved show and bringing it to the Broadway stage? And how would you describe your overall experience across its many stages, both literally and figuratively?
It's the most important thing I've done professionally, I think, is be a part of that for as long as I was. You talk about learning experiences, man. Let me just get this right out of the way. As soon as I opened the MP3 attachment on my appointment email, I wanted a piece of that show bad. I wanted a piece of that show. I'd never heard anything like it. I haven't heard anything like it since. Uh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I hope there's a revival someday. I think that I think they can do it. They just gotta buckle down, and
When
I
you
think people,
get back from tour, we're doing it. We're
yeah,
doing
absolutely. Put it. We're gonna manifest it for sure. Excuse me. But the moment I heard it, I was like, I gotta have a piece of this. And I went in. I think I came off as a little keen in the audition, but keen and green, that was me. But they booked me, and it was. Let me think about this. We did that first tent for, gosh, like 3, 4 months, I think I was in there, and then it closed down, and we did another tent in the snow with holes in the walls, and making 50 cents a week, and it was uh, it was like I felt like we were all just paying our dues, and just like we were just so grateful to be doing this dirty, dirty theater work that everybody loves that nobody else gets to do, and then to go to ART with it, and then to like have Howard call us into a room and say, everybody in this room will be transferring to Broadway with this show. And it was just like, oh my God, this is the same show I did in a tent in the snow with no money. This is really, and at the same time, of course, everybody knew it was a special show. Everybody knew it deserved to go to Broadway and be seen by as many people as possible. And the cast on that show, I was intimidated by every soul that I did that show with. I really was, because I think I'm a pretty, I'm a jobber. I love acting, I love singing, and I can move. That's my job. But everybody else was such a multi-hyphenate person. They are a writer, they are a choreographer, they are a director. I mean, they have a singer-songwriter career, they have record deals, and here's me, like, I got my theater degree. You know? So I just, again, it was an opportunity to be a sponge and just kind of like be around such intense creative personalities for years and years on end. And I miss it. I miss that show dearly.
Oh, me, I miss watching that show. There
Yeah.
is nothing like a theater experience like that show. And
No.
that whole experience for you, from being part of its earliest beginnings, literally doing the show in a tent, to doing it to Broadway and getting to shape what it is today because it's so iconic and so beloved. You really got to open that book, write the first page, and then write the last words, which is incredible.
Yeah, I grabbed hold of the side of the train and I held on as long as I could. It was like riding a comet, man. It really was. Oh, it's the best. It's the best. And so, just a couple months ago, I just out of the blue, I started listening to the original recording, the off-Broadway recording with Pippa Sue, and it's as extraordinary as the first time I ever heard it. I wish for everyone to sit, have a glass of wine, and listen to that album top to bottom once a
Yeah.
year or so.
Oh yeah. Try once a week. Like that album is so good. And what was it like for you getting to watch it evolve? Because you were part of every single stage of that show.
Oh, sure. A lot of it made me sad, because you have to make some concessions. You have to be realistic about what it is to take something from a custom bespoke performance space like a tent that you built to purpose and shoving it in a 100-year-old theater like the Imperial. Like certain things have to change, certain things have to go. Uh, there were some musical changes that thrilled me. There were some musical changes that bummed me out a little, but I understood. There were some. The thing that I missed the most was the sweat and dirt and grime that pretty much got on every theater goer if they saw it in the tent. I mean, we stunk up the place from how hard we were working, right up and right up in your face. And we did our absolute best to bring that to the Imperial. But it's not possible to do that with 1,200 people. Even though we expanded the cast, even though we built those stage areas out into the audience, you gotta, it just wasn't quite the same. A lot of people prefer the Broadway production, but for me, uh, when I think of Great Comet, I think of a nasty little tent in the snow.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
what a great way to think about such an iconic production.
That's the best, man. That was the best.
Oh. So in 2021, you were in the original Broadway cast of Jagged Little Pill in the
Ah,
ensemble while also understudying Steve Haley. So what was the greatest lesson you learned from your experience in this production?
got to take it as it comes. I mean, it was so brutal. I mean, we lost that job twice,
Yeah.
and it was crushing both times. The first time specific, I was on the N train coming in from Queens, and they're like, "Psych, turn around. We're nothing happening." And over the next few days, we went. God, did we even do that? No, that was the second time. I don't even remember, man. It was COVID. Things went crazy.
Yeah.
And then we're thinking, oh my God, my wife and I ended up moving. We signed a lease and we were like locked in, and then things went dragging on and on and on, and there was no work. There was no work. And then finally we get the call, come back to rehearsal. We're going to reopen Jagged Little Pill. And it was awesome. And then to have it taken away again so quickly was just
Yeah.
like, oh, nothing's guaranteed. It's just, it was another in a long line of at the time, what at the time felt like a theme to my career was just like heartbreak after heartbreak.
Yeah.
And I that happened. Moonshine didn't go. You remember? I'm sure you don't, but there was a Broadway revival of Titanic like 10 years ago.
I do remember that.
I was booked on
Because
one of the
I
lead
didn't know
roles.
there was a Titanic. Oh, this was a thing. I didn't know there was a
Yeah.
Titanic musical. And then one of my friends told me actually on the podcast, and I had a freak out because I didn't know there was a musical, and then I didn't know there was a revival. I didn't know you were part of that. That's
I was supposed
crazy.
to be. I was supposed to be. Yeah, and I had my costume fitting and everything, and here I am. I'm 24. I'm making my Broadway debut, and they canceled the show. And the thing about Jagged Little Pill was it was just kind of like, yeah, I had to be like, this is just what the job is. You can't just act like everything is woe is me and, all these bad breaks. I'm a sad sack. It was just like, no, dude, shit happens. Pardon me. I don't know if this is a blue language sort
No,
of a
you can.
podcast,
No, you're good.
but, it's not up and it's not down. It's just forward. You just
Yeah.
have to make your peace with there's going to be terrible heartbreak. If there wasn't heartbreak, then that just means you didn't care very much. And that's never going to be the case. So it was a big lesson for sure.
Yeah. And what was it like for you as an actor getting to take such important real life causes and events and getting to put that into art and share it with the world when you got
It's
to do
a,
so?
it's a huge responsibility. And I just, it's a huge responsibility. And how those, particularly the women in that show, uh, carried themselves dealing with such intensely traumatic material, is a level of grace to which I aspire. Like really, really, really. I mean, you talk about the heaviest stuff you can come up with, and they had to go out there. I mean, professionalism. It was just professionalism every single night. Elizabeth Stanley is my queen, honest to God. I mean, she's so incredible. I keep using this word, she's such a professional. She's an absolute pro. She's supportive, she's reliable, she's S tier talent as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
So
and I'm so happy that show got the life that it deserved out on tour because I had the pleasure of seeing it on tour and getting to see Dylan Clenna do it. And
Oh, cool.
watching that also come full circle for the Clennas, but also watching the journey that this show deserved and getting to see the lives that it touched. I am so endlessly grateful and still to this day that my life got to be one of those and that people can take away this show and hold it in their heart because it is
Oh,
such a special piece of theater
that
that,
was the whole idea. Yeah.
yeah,
That's exactly what we want to hear when we do when you
yeah.
do a show like that, because it's like I said, a lot of responsibility. And there was no shortage of issues we tried to responsibly address. And I know a lot of people didn't feel like we responsibly addressed all of them, but everybody in that building did their absolute best to do right by the material.
Yeah, and that show, it truly changed the world, and it still is. Getting to watch regional theater productions do it now, and getting to see the lovely Delaney Brown, who I love and look up to, and who was out on the tour, and now she's getting to be a casting director for a regional production. To get to
Amazing.
see the show come to life in regional theaters and getting to have more people be touched by it is just the message of the show of what it is.
Absolutely. Well
And
put.
yeah, it was such an incredible show. Truly, truly changed the world.
Broke my body, but actually, both of those shows, the first two Broadway shows I ever did, oh man, my hips will never be the same.
Oh yeah.
Oi.
And it got you ready for this crazy stellar career that you have.
Oh gosh.
Holy. Uh, so in 2023, you graced Broadway once again in one of the funniest musicals known to man in the
Maybe the funniest
original,
ever.
probably the funniest ever. I'm putting it out there. I will defend that till the day I die. Funniest musical ever.
Yeah.
You were in the original Broadway cast of Shucked as the bow understudy. So, what was your experience like being part of the show, and how did the rehearsal process work for you as a super swing and also just being in the funniest show of all time?
Well, it was my first time swinging. We were
Yeah.
coming out of the pandemic. I had just done Titanic, and I was like, I was ready to quit this thing, because I couldn't find work. And Robert Horn, bless Robert Horn,
Yeah.
for the rest of his days, he believes in me and my ability to tell a story, and it has carried me through days when I didn't have that much faith in myself. And he brought me in for the millionth time because he wanted me to be in this show. And it wouldn't be in the same capacity that originally I had been, and I understood that. And the show had gone in another direction, and it was the Jack O'Brien vision, which works so well. So, and it had been so long, I walked into the audition, the final callback, and I've got my flannel on, and I'm like, I know this song, God knows I know it. And Robert comes and gives me a hug, and we hadn't talked in a couple years, and he's like, Ken, is this weird? And I go, yeah, kind of. And then I go, but not so weird that I don't want the job, Robert. And Jack O'Brien from the back, he kind of goes, good answer. And I was like, all right, they might be on my side here. This, we got a shot. So everybody should have to swing.
I always
Everybody should
say
have to be a
this
swing.
should be a
Yeah.
class in school. I can
Yeah.
do a TED talk on how swinging should be a class in school.
Hair is insane right now. Whatever. It's a podcast. Uh, everybody should have to swing. If you're going to play a lead, you should have had to be a swing at least once or twice in your career. You've got
Yep.
the stress is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable because you're never swinging three rolls. You're swinging five or six every time. And I used this expression a lot when I was doing Water for Elephants. I swung two ensemble rolls and I stood by for all three principal male tracks. I can keep all the balls in the air, but I can't keep them all at the same height. You can keep one roll fresh in your mind and then you can move on to the next, but you have to try to maintain a baseline of if they call me for the role for which I am least prepared, we will get through the show safely because you're never going to be, at least I was never quite able to keep every single roll firing at all on all cylinders. And that stress is amazing. You wake up in deathly fear of your phone going off. You immediately check to see if you did I miss anything, and like, God, the days when you did miss a call, oh, I mean, forget it. Forget it. Takes minutes off the end of your life every time, and
Yeah.
I wish this living hell for every single performer
Yeah.
because it
I
will
don't,
stretch you, baby. It
yep.
will stretch you.
Oh, I always say I give all of my kudos and all the kudos in the entire
Yeah.
world to swings and understudies because I could never. I've been
You
acting
say
since
that.
I was
You
6 years
say
old.
that.
Crazy. It's
You
crazy.
could if you broke enough. Yeah, you could.
It's crazy. And I love that analogy of the way you put it. That was so beautifully put. I've never heard it like that. I
Oh,
love
the
that
balls in the air
analogy.
thing.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I had friends in John Proctor's The Villain, and they told me that they had one of their fellow cast members tell them that being a swing is like you paint the most beautiful picture for a year in rehearsals, and then at 6:59 you throw a party, and then at 7 o'clock you burn the painting. And
that's pretty good.
that analogy too reminded me of what you were saying because you work so, so hard to create this painting. And if the world sees it, that's lovely. But if the world
Yeah,
doesn't get to see it and you don't get to go on, you have that work for you and it
yeah,
comes from you. And I love that because I look at people that swing for like 8 roles, like you were saying, and I'm like, how do you keep all of those in your head, especially when all those characters that you swing interact with one another? You can do the
yeah.
whole show with yourself. It's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh. When we were rehearsing for Water for Elephants, I was playing Jacob and August and Wade in some of those. That was literally and by the end of it, I could pretty much not miss a beat doing all of those roles, you know?
Hashtag
Uh,
water for Ken.
it was a lot of fun. And the challenges associated, I don't mean to get ahead. I'm sure you were, is
No,
it okay
no.
that we go to Water for Elephants?
Yes. Oh my God, that was my next question. You read my mind. Please go for it.
Sure. It's dangerous. You
Oh,
know,
especially yeah,
with
especially in
the
that show.
acrobats doing these things, if I'm standing in the wrong place, I don't mind screwing up a line. I don't mind screwing up a note. I don't mind. Shit
Yeah,
happens, you know, it just
yeah,
it just happens. But if I'm wrong in such a way where I am going to really cause someone grievous bodily harm, I mean, it just amps the stress up to 11. And
yeah,
those guys are super, super athletes, and you're terrified to tinker with what they're doing because it's such a delicate thing that they have to do. It was just another layer of like, don't go out there unless you're ready, you know?
yeah. Oh, I could not believe my eyes when I saw
Yeah,
that show. I thought I was dreaming.
yeah.
And you
It's
like, oh my God, it was
it's
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I walked into rehearsal the first day and I was just like, how are you people doing this? How are you're just casually doing casually
Yeah.
hoisting people, throwing them with one. I mean, the strength is incredible.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm so excited for that show to go out on tour and for more people to see it because that is like the most insane thing. Like I could not believe my eyes. It was
A good
crazy.
friend of mine is playing Marlena, and she's a wonderfully
Oh,
talented Helen
yay!
Krasinski. Yes, yes, yes. At this most recent Camelot, she was in. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh, and
yeah.
what was it like for you covering all of those lead roles, like you said, and then also the part of coming back to the Imperial? What was that like for you?
Oh God, it's always interesting when you're next door to Hamilton. You know,
Totally
when they.
not what I meant, but yeah.
I
But
know, but
yeah.
that's unfortunately that's like the uniting theme is that Hamilton's still there. It's been 17 shows in the Imperial, but only one at the Rogers. And like the Wednesday school mat happens, and you have to swim through school buses and stuff to get to work. But
Yeah. Yeah.
the you know
Yeah.
it's so interesting because you do these Broadway houses, and the Imperial's kind of a big one.
Yeah.
At least it has that grand feeling, and it's 1,200 seats. We
Yeah.
played St. Louis, and it's 4,500 seats. That was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Our smallest houses are 1,900 on the road. But for
Yeah.
some reason, the Imperial, maybe it's the name, I don't know. It has this grand dam sort of imposing presence to it that I thought suited both shows quite well, in fact.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, yeah, I like the Imperial. I mean, it's tough. There's so many stairs in a Broadway house. It just, holy
Oh, crazy. Oh,
smokes, going up and down those stairs.
oh, that's crazy. The amount of
Yeah,
stairs, oh my God.
yeah. But it's just the way it is. It has that we'll call it rustic charm. Sure, the plumbing doesn't work every time, but it's Broadway, baby.
This is Broadway. Oh, I'm so excited for this next question because you are the only person that I have the privilege of knowing and looking up to that has been in countless original Broadway casts. So I'm so excited to hear what you're gonna
Four.
have to
It's just
say.
four.
But it's a lot. But it's a lot. So, having been part of several original Broadway casts, both in principal roles and as an understudy, covering multiple characters, you've truly done it all. So, what is your favorite part about being in an original Broadway cast and bringing new musicals to Broadway, witnessing audiences experiencing a brand new piece of art for the first time?
I mean, I could give you a cliche like, well, that's why we play the game, but it kind of is, it's like you're a little bit removed from it when you're in the cast, but for the creatives, the people who wrote this thing, I mean, your heart goes out to them on opening night, and you are worried sick that they're not going to get the response that you think they deserve. Because I don't care if it's Queen of Versailles, I don't care if it's Tammy Faye, I don't care if it's Great Comet. Everybody wants the show to be good.
Yeah.
Everybody's working their ass off to put on a good show,
Yeah.
and I've never gotten slammed or anything like that in the papers, but there's been mixed reviews for some of these shows, and these creatives don't deserve mixed reviews. The amount of work and effort and blood,
Agreed.
sweat, and tears, like I know it's easy to dump on like Queen of Versailles, but talented people with a long track record of success put their 100% best effort into making that show work.
Shout out to one of my wonderful friends, Pablo David Lasarica. He's in Queen of Versailles and he's
Oh my
killing it.
God.
He's
Ryan
killing it.
Nixon. Ryan Nixon, my girl from Moonshine back in the day. We both got
Yeah.
fired from that job, but at least she's working, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she deserves success. Everybody deserves to be well received after the amount of work that goes into it. And, when you do put it out in front of people, yeah, again, it's a cliche, but you gotta let go and let God, man. It just be content in the work that you've done and the effort you've put in and the way that you've worked. And do your best to say, well, if they don't like it, it wasn't for them. Doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean my work was wasted.
I agree.
Yeah.
My elementary school theater teacher always used to say the process is the star, and that changed me.
Oh,
I would
oh,
beat myself up on stage if I forgot a line or I missed a cue or I didn't hit my mark. I would beat myself up for weeks and weeks and weeks. And she said, the process is the star. As long as you had a good time workshopping and in rehearsal, that's what counts, not
if
just.
you felt that you did your job to the best of your ability and you have earned the respect of your peers, like that, you have to make that your definition of success. And I had a director, Will Davis, who told me, he said, I did the same thing. I actually came to rehearsal a week late. I was working on another project, and I was like, I'm going to show up off book. They will not be slowed down because of me. And I showed up, and I flubbed a line, or I forgot something, and I go, "Oh, you son of a bitch." And Will goes, hey, shame exists to make us forget, and you need to be learning right now. And I was like that for a process-oriented guy like me, like all that shame, all that self-flagellation, throw it out the window, man. It really doesn't help as much as it feels like it does.
Yeah.
Just stay on the grind.
Oh yeah. Preach. You gotta soak in that process because
Yeah,
that's the best part. All those
yeah,
late night rehearsals and being backstage and getting those
yeah.
notes, that's what counts.
It's walking around in your living room, muttering to yourself, saying, "Okay, stage left here to 15,
Yep. Yeah.
all that
Oh,
stuff."
even on like my drives home from rehearsal and my parents are driving me back home and I'm like, okay, this is here. I need to exit here and I need to go through here. People are looking at me like, what are you doing? It's our brains. It's our job. That's what we do.
Just we're
And
in the
we
pocket.
love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so as someone who has swung and understudied in several Broadway shows and national tours, you've stepped into multiple roles on short notice. So what have these experiences as a swing and understudy taught you about versatility, timing, and presence on stage? And can you share any memorable moments or challenges from going on unexpectedly and how that shaped you as a performer? So just any swing stories you could share.
Ooh, I got a banger.
Oh, let's
I
go.
got a couple of good ones, but we'll go with Water for Elephants. Uh, Grant Gustin got really, really sick during previews, like really sick.
Oh.
Uh, and he fought, but then during the first week of previews, he missed two shows on a Wednesday. And when I tell you I had not had 1 minute of rehearsal for this role,
For
it had
Jacob.
for Jacob Jankowski. I'd had music rehearsals, but I had not done any blocking. I'd just been taking notes and watching and you know, and that was one of those things. I woke up at about 10:45 and I had missed a call And Tim Seaman, our stage manager, oh God, really? Oh, blah, 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 blah. And I knew exactly what it was because I knew Grant had been fighting through some stuff. And I'm like having a panic attack thinking about it. I haven't had a minute of rehearsal. I have not gone on stage at the Imperial. I haven't done any of this stuff. I haven't climbed the frickin' scaffolding. He calls me and I was like, and he's like, yeah, Grant is called out for this afternoon's performance. I was like, okay. And he goes, Ken. And I go, yes. I knew Tim from Moonshine. I'd worked with him before. We knew each other. And he's like, Ken, can you do this? And it was the kindest thing anyone has ever said to me because Tim Seaman is one of those stage managers who will not put his actors in danger. He would have canceled that thing if I had said, no, I can't do it safely. He would have canceled the show and he would never have thought twice about it. But I said, yes, Tim, I can do this. And I went in. He says, what do you need? I said, I need to go through Zostan and I need to go through the Dream Ballet, a couple sections in the Dream Ballet. And I need to go through some of the spacing in the opening number in Road Don't Make You Young. And it was all for safety. And we got through it really well. And it was a lesson in it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. You have to do it safely. You have to trust the people around you, which I absolutely did. Izzy was incredible. I knew her from Shucked. Izzy helped a, oh my God. Up with Izzy McCalla. She's amazing. Paul
Oh, she's
Nolan is a
amazing.
king. I mean,
My
I don't know,
king.
man. I keep doing these shows, and every time I meet a bunch of people, I'm like, gosh, this is one of the coolest people I've ever met. I love my job because of the people I meet. Really, that's it. That's the takeaway there. But I was shaking so bad by the end of it.
Oh, I can't even
I had been
imagine.
I had been over because the role is it's extreme. It's the you never leave stage,
It's more
and
than extreme.
yeah. And so I think I lost 5 pounds just in that first performance. And oh my God, everybody made me feel like a king. They made me feel like a king.
I mean, you are.
No, get out of here, you. But then I go, my wife like takes me by the arm and like leads me to Starbucks,
Oh,
after the
shout out
first show.
Logan.
Shout out Logan. Uh, and I sit there and I'm like drinking my tea, and then my phone rings and I go, no way, no way. And Tim's like, hey, bud, you got another one in you?
That's my
Oh my
favorite sing
God.
story that I've
And
ever heard.
my body was just out of stress chemicals. It was just
Oh
like
my God.
I just shuffled back like a zombie and again just born on the backs of my co-stars and coworkers. We got through it again and it was fine and it was tired and it was safe and it was good and
Oh
it
my
was the
God.
worst and best day of my career.
I mean, what a show, what a role, and what an experience. Holy freaking hell.
Mm. Yeah,
That
that one was crazy.
that's crazy. Watch them call you on tour and be like, Ken, that would be crazy. Crazy. Oh my God, that show, like I will never get the acrobatics and just like the vocals of that show and like the staging of it out of my head ever.
I know. And oh God, sorry, I got an eyelash or something there.
You're good.
Um,
Oh my God, that was crazy.
and that's just more, examples to like learn how to lead a company because I'd done those regional leads and now I'm doing, a first national tour. I'm playing a principal role and watching Paul Nolan, watching Izzy, watching Grant, watching, guys like Sean Krill, Christopher Sieber.
Yes.
I've spent a career watching people do this job and I'm doing my best to pick what I know works and what is good and what's going to be best for the company. And I'm trying to emulate those people here now that I have my shot at being a principal player in a big company like this.
I mean, you're leaving the light on and you're not throwing away your shot. You're
Hey
killing it.
now.
Let's go. So I'm so excited because obviously you are currently starring as Middle Noah in the national tour of the Notebook musical. So before getting cast in the show, were you at all familiar with the story and what drew you to this role?
Well, I wanted the job because I'd heard the music. I knew it was a good role. I had never seen the movie. I had never read the book. Nope, nope. I knew what it was about pretty much. I'm a millennial. It was inescapable when I was in high school.
Okay, yeah, that's valid.
Um, but I went through all the auditions. It was months long. The audition process was long. Leash will back me up on that. And I didn't watch it. I was like, well, they kind of like what I'm doing. I don't want to muddy the waters at all.
Right.
And then I went away and I did a job over the summer after I had booked it, and then I came back and I'm thinking, well, should I watch it or should I just go in? And I think I'll just go in. And I didn't watch it, didn't read it. I just went based off of what was on the page in front of me, and what Michael wanted, and tried to let whatever I made be entirely our own creation in that room. And I'm very, very glad I did because I've since seen the movie.
Okay,
Uh,
good.
Actually, after our first public performance, we had an invited dress at the end of the studio rehearsal process. And once we had done that, I was like, okay, we've got our show. We know what our show is.
Yeah.
So I went and I watched it. But to me, forever, The Notebook will be what we built in that room at New 42. It's not the
Yeah.
movie for me. It's not Rachel McAdams. It's not Gosling. It's not the novel. For me, The Notebook is Alicia, is Bo, is Sharon, is Kyle, is Chloe, is me, is Michael, is Shelley, is Asmaret. It, yeah, and I'm glad that that's what it is to me.
Yeah. And I mean, having loved the movie and the book personally, getting to see the musical, it gave me a whole new perspective. It felt like a whole new story. And
Yeah,
that was so beautiful.
yeah.
It that I left the theater sobbing, and just nothing like that show had ever pulled on my heartstrings, and it was so beautiful getting to see one of my favorite stories translated onto a stage.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Did
Yeah.
you get to see the Broadway production at all or
I
no?
was in Water for Elephants the whole
Oh,
time. I was
right.
working. Yeah, I wish I had
Right.
because I mean, I know John Cardoza from
Of
Jagged Little
course.
Pill. I would have loved to see him. What a star he is,
Oh, he's a
like
star.
I mean, we've known he's had this kind of talent forever,
Yeah.
but it's nice to see that
Yeah.
producers know too. Like what he's doing with Moulin Rouge. I mean, he's an absolute
Yeah.
stud. But I
Oh.
would have loved to have seen him in that
And the
role.
fact that it was just across the street,
I know.
and now you're doing the thing. Now you're out
I
bringing it on the
know.
road. Oh,
I
it's
know.
oh,
Funny old world.
I love the way theater works. I love the
I
theater.
know.
Oh,
It's this big. The whole world is that
oh,
big.
oh yeah. Oh, it's my favorite getting to
Yeah.
like I like to call it Jewish geography, but I invented Broadway geography, and it's like how everyone knows everyone and how we all know our mutual friends, and it's my favorite thing. I love
Yeah,
it.
you need a lot of red yarn on that cork board to make all those
Oh yeah.
connections, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, can you walk us through your journey from your audition process with the notebook to where you are now?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. First comes the tape,
Oh,
which is always uncomfortable singing on tape.
yeah.
But it was all right. And then had a live audition, and it's high. It was in the original keys, and I was like, this is what I got in these keys. You guys can,
Not with your lovers, with your mother, not with the others.
Oh my, give me a break. And I think that I was not the only person who had a little bit of had a challenge doing that. And
Yeah.
so
Oh,
they sent out some alternative keys, and I had a voice lesson with Fernanda, my wonderful voice teacher. And I was like, hey, I can do it in the higher key. And she was like, but why? And I
valid,
was like, great
valid.
question, Fernanda. Screw it. Yeah, you know what? Take it down a step. Take it down a whole step. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it was just it's in a key now where I can and have done it, the butt crack of dawn, and when I'm not feeling great, and it's enabled me to be confident even when I'm not feeling confident in my voice. Um, and you always want to be available. The greatest ability is availability. You never want to be calling out if you can at all help it, and it's enabled that for me. So they did that and went in and again and again and again and again. They sang me into the dirt because I think they wanted to make sure that we could handle the 8 show a week load. It's a big sing, the score's a big
He's a
sing.
very big thing.
It's not Roger and Rent or anything stupid like that, but it's a lot, and it's
It's a
even
crazy thing.
yeah, it's heavy. So far so good, and I think they cast it so well. Oh,
Oh, the
ooh,
casting was it was so well done.
oh my
So,
God.
so, so good. And
Alicia is
after, oh,
Yeah, I mean, she's S tier scene partner, her above all else for me. And Bo and Kyle and getting to play and how our relationship to each other as the Noahs has evolved from city to city. And
oh,
they clearly didn't just cast talent. And I keep bringing this up, but it's true. They didn't just cast talent, they cast personalities. They made so many phone
yeah.
calls to our previous employers to see like would you want to be locked on a road with this guy for 8 months? Really,
Yeah.
because like that can really send things south in a hurry
Yeah.
if people don't get along.
Yeah.
But it's been a dream of a cast.
Uh, oh yeah. I mean, the casting is incredible. You guys
Yeah.
sound amazing. I mean, the two of you together is just, oh, you guys singing forever. I like need that I need someone to inject it into my veins. Like it's
Oh,
so
it's my
good.
favorite part of the show. It's my favorite
It's
part of the show.
so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then hearing you do it, I wrote you a letter every day for a year. Hear you do that for the first time, I was like, the hairs were standing up. I was like, let's go. We're doing it.
Yay!
Uh, so what was your rehearsal process like for the notebook? And were there moments during rehearsals that kind of surprised you or changed your perspective on the story?
Uh, yeah. Look, I'm a broken record here, but everything has been aces since day one.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody showed up chomping at the bit, ready to do their part, and we were doing run-throughs of the show on like day 6 or 7 of rehearsal.
Oh.
You understand? I've been doing this 15 years now. I have never gotten to the end of the studio process and had the director say, take the next 2 days off. We're good. We're done. We'll see you
Oh.
next week for the presentation. And it's because everybody prioritized the show. Nobody wanted to let anybody down, and there was just such a positive, deep well of energy making that show in that rehearsal studio that like it was a dream. It just kind of appeared out of thin air. All of a sudden, we've got this show. God, I look like Kramer right now. What is going
No,
on
you're
here?
good.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh,
Anyways, it was the best. It was the smoothest. Partly because this is their third production, and the directors really knew what they wanted to see,
yeah.
and that makes everything so much easier. I love making new work. I love working on new musicals. It is a rare treat, but it's also you're knee high in a bog trying to get to the other side. There are problems, there are questions that have to be answered, and the directors pretty much had the answers at every turn. It was cool.
Oh, the creatives on this show, and then just the cast and the music, and everything comes together so beautifully to tell this story in a way like it's never been told before. Like, there is not a single person that leaves that theater with a dry eye. It
Well, it's kind of you to say.
it's the greatest. Oh,
Thank you. We're
so
very proud of it.
what is your favorite part and most challenging part about portraying Middle Noah and bringing this beloved story to audiences across North America?
My favorite part of the role is Forever.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
just because it's like this wish fulfillment for the audience. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
all of a sudden they're back together, and it's like the moment you waited for, and
Oh,
it would be very easy to make it a simple scene, an emotionally straightforward scene, but it is complicated, and it is two people who want each other so badly, but they don't know why the other person left. They don't know, there are so many feelings that have to be explored before more feelings can be explored. It's like unlocking a puzzle box, that scene, you know what I mean? And the music slaps, and it's like the best meet cute, and even though it's not really meet cute, it kind of feels like a meet cute.
yeah.
Um, I like that. I like working with Leash, obviously. She's extraordinary. Um, the most challenging part, I would say, probably those B flats.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah,
Uh, you know, it,
he's up
and there are,
there.
I, this role has been, it's so funny. It's the most responsibility I've ever been handed as far as bearing narrative, but it's the easiest on my body I've ever had by a mile. So it's like it's hard for me to look at the role and be like, oh, it's really hard because like I don't wake up in extraordinary pain every day. You know
Which
what I
is
mean?
good. Which is
Which is
good.
good. It's a new experience for me. Oh, I'm running low on battery.
Oh,
Um, Hold on. Can I fix that?
no, you're good.
Sorry about that. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Okay.
Uh,
Um, yeah, that the most challenging is gosh, I guess it is that scene because it's you don't want to shortchange the emotion, right?
yeah.
Uh, but you also have to technically get through the song.
Oh yeah.
So that's a fun line to have to walk. You want to cry, you want to weep, you want to scream, but you also owe the audience the vocal line. Um, and so balancing that is probably the most. Every night it's a little bit different. You got to really know where your voice is at, and what you can get away with as far as volume
Yeah.
and climate. My God, we were just in Des Moines. We were in St. Paul before that. It was below freezing for like 3 straight weeks. There was no moisture in the air, and so
Right.
you have to change your show up a little bit, just to reliably deliver what you have to deliver technically. So that's technically the toughest part, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh. Is there a particular scene, song, or moment in the show that you look forward to doing each night?
Doing all of it. I love doing all of it. But my favorite part of the show is what happens.
Oh, I love that song.
I
It's so
know.
underrated. It's
It
so
is
good.
absolutely slept on, dude. I think
Oh,
I think it's Ingrid's entry in. I think it's going to be more well appreciated in years to come as more students sing through it. It is
oh. It's become my go-to
so,
audition song now. It's so
and well, it
good.
should. It's so
It's
good
so
when those
good.
when those block chords hit and it
Oh,
slows down and goes half tempo.
oh,
You can do There's so much room for performance choice, like you can play that so many different ways. It's so
yeah.
good and solid. I don't know, I love it, I love the way Leash does it.
And we have to talk about the most beloved part of the Notebook, bringing the rain
Yeah,
across
man.
North America. What's it like getting to do that iconic rain scene every night and getting
It's
different
cold.
reactions? It's
It's
cold.
cold.
It's cold.
It's cold. It's not always cold, but it was cold in Des Moines, man. I think it was just because it was just the air was so cold. But it's
Oh,
awesome, dude. I wish I might even talk to Chase about this. I wish the sound of the rain was deafening on stage because
oh,
I think it's really loud out in the audience. And I
oh,
think they're trying to be nice to us, but there was a few that sometimes you do it and the rain is pounding in your ears, and
yeah.
it's like you don't even have to act. You just have to make yourself be heard over the storm. And the stakes are, yeah, and the stakes are built, blow a wind, crack your cheeks. The stakes are built into the scene as long as you play them truly and in a committed way. And
Oh,
yeah, I mean, it's awesome. What are you talking about, man? How many opportunities am I going to get to do a scene in the rain like that?
oh,
It's,
it's incredible. It's
yeah,
insane. You guys
yeah,
also do the pie sequence in Forever, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, Chase was telling me about this makes me laugh because I never thought about it until he was telling me the timing that he says with the pie and like doing it on the words. He was like having a crash out, and I was like, Chase, I didn't even think about this. You and me and Chase, we're gonna hop on a FaceTime, you, me, and Chase, and just like talk because I want
The
different
first thing, the
perspectives.
first thing, this is Michael. Michael is so specific about what he wants to have happen and where you need to be and what you need to do. And it was I think our second day of rehearsal, our first day of actually being on our feet and not just doing music rehearsal. And here's this cornucopia of props and business and forks and serving things and pies and tea
Oh,
glasses and he's throwing all this stuff at me and I'm just like, please slow down. Please slow down, man. I don't even know the words yet, homie. And he's like, so you're going to do this, and you're going to bring these forks over here. And when she says that line, we need to see your butt, and then you need to bring the pie out on this and stand up on this next line. It'll time out perfectly. Just trust me. And I trusted him, and it all did work out.
oh.
But
Chase
man,
is
what
gonna
a
be so happy to hear that.
I've never met Chase, but we've had like brief little interactions on Instagram. I'd love to meet him, man. It'd be
Oh.
it'd be fun to
Okay, the
to
three of us
commiserate
are
on
gonna
this.
do a FaceTime. I'm gonna
All
arrange that.
right.
Okay. Oh my God. And I need to hear, I know it's only been a couple months, but just for my own mere enjoyment, have you had any onstage mishaps so far?
God, every night. And this live theater, you know how it be. I mean, something goes crazy wrong every night.
Oh.
Sometimes I don't know, sometimes something crazy happens in the pit. One night the rain didn't rain.
What?
Oh, hell yeah. There was a kink in the hose, something, one of the slides kinked the hose, so
So we just didn't rain?
it kind of went and then we were like, well, we already acted like there was rain because there was rain for a second. So we can't really like act our way out of this, so we just committed to the bit and just finished out the scene. That was goofy, but sometimes it happens like that.
That's, I love live theater. You never know what it's gonna throw at you.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
Oh,
NASCAR. Maybe you'll get to see a total wreck tonight. That'll be exciting.
Oh my God. So, what aspects of the show and embodying the character of Middle Noah have brought you the most enjoyment so far? And what are your aspirations as the show continues its run?
I just, God, it's impossible, but I don't ever want to miss a show. I love doing it. I love doing it. I feel like I've been waiting for a job like this my whole career, and I have. I'm every night is just pinching myself
Oh,
about this show. I just want to keep doing it. That's
that's
all. I've had a bunch of shows close out from under me and devastating circumstances, and I just trying to enjoy this as much as I can for as long as I can.
oh, it's the greatest show. And watching you do it and make this beloved role your own has been the coolest thing ever. You're
Thank you,
killing.
Allison.
You
Thank you.
star. Oh, so what has been your highlight moment from The Notebook so far?
Highlight moment. I mean, opening.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
stress was extraordinary, and it was the kind of stress I wasn't used to.
Mm.
When you're a swing, you know what you're panicking about.
Yeah.
I knew the lines, I knew the blocking, I was getting good feedback from my directors. Everything was ship shape. So I had all this nervous energy that I didn't know I couldn't do anything with it. And I had the most terrible insomnia you can imagine. I wasn't sleeping at all the way through Cleveland.
Oh,
And I would lie in bed and like I'm not stressed out that I know of, but I'm clearly stressed out, but there's nothing for me to work on because everything has been going so well.
oh yeah.
And we got to opening and we were so well received. And it was just like a calming hand on my back saying, "No, that's right. You did do all the work. Everything is okay. You do deserve to be here. You have done your job as you were supposed to do it." So that feeling of relief was just like, yeah, I can do this. I can be the lead in a first national tour and it can go really, really well. I can do this. So that, probably that.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
go. Oh, killing
Yeah.
it. So, what lessons and greatest takeaways have you stuck with you from your previous Broadway and tour experiences that you've brought with you to the Notebook? Because this is your first national tour. So, what have all those crazy Broadway and regional lessons
Yeah.
you brought with you to tour?
Patience. I would say patience,
Yeah.
with the process and with myself.
Yeah.
I used to be the guy into this, I still struggle with this, who it has to be perfect every
Yeah.
night. If it's not the best damn thing everyone in that theater has seen, I have failed.
Oh, I'm the same way.
And that's a toxic way to be. At the
Yeah.
same time,
Yeah.
it does drive you to really get it as close as you can,
Yeah.
but you got to hold on loosely. At some point, you have to accept that uh, you're not going to have the same voice 2 nights in a row ever.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different show every single night. You can't force it to be perfect. You have to accept what you can do when you can do it. And I think that's been a good tool for longevity because I haven't missed a show yet, and I hope not to for a long time. And the ability to just be like, sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes you're not quite happy with how that note went. Sometimes you wobble a little bit.
Yeah.
That's part of it. And 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, you're the only person who noticed that.
Yep.
Feel doesn't mean it was real. Feel is not real. So like we're all technicians, especially if you come from like a singing background first, it's like from a choral singing perspective, it's like if I'm not in the center of the pitch, every single note drives me nuts. But you gotta let it go, dude. You just gotta communicate, and being patient with myself that way,
Yeah.
I think I would have struggled with that earlier in my career.
Yeah. So, alongside from being a superstar on stage, you've also shined on screen in various TV and
Oh,
projects. So, how does your preparation for TV or film differ from preparing for the stage, and what adjustments do you find the most challenging?
I've done some really poor acting on screen. Like really, really bad. And you gotta suck before you can be good.
It's true.
It
It's
does
so true.
that's just the rules, you gotta suck first. And boy, did I suck in
Oh,
some of that stuff. And I've come to this understanding that yes, you have to make I want to think about how I want to phrase this because I've talked to students about this in the past. And it's been a while since I taught, but there's a good way to put it. You can make a more subtle physical choice while not sacrificing the emotional heft of what you have to do dramatically. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
So you don't want to shrink your performance, you per se, but you kind of do. You have to
Yeah.
get the same thing done with less. It's just a different set of tools that you have to allow yourself to use to achieve the same goal. Um, and the more I come to understand what a frame is and how to be aware of the lens and how to show face while still sending focus to the scene partner, and I'm still learning it. I don't get as much practice at it as I would like, but it was a tough adjustment for me because I look back like I did House of Cards in 2012 and I watched that scene. I haven't watched it in years, but if I did, I'm sure I would cringe at it. Just absolutely cringe. Same thing with Blacklist. I know was pretty bad. Oh God, I just need reps. I need reps on screen, dude. It's
Oh, it's the canon event of being an actor, of like watching old
uh,
projects that you've done, being like, oh no,
oh,
no.
just awful, awful bad. Yeah.
So since you wrote Allie a letter every single day for a year, if you
Hmm.
could write one letter to little Ken, looking back on everything you have achieved in this industry, what advice would you give him entering the industry with everything that you've gone through?
None.
Wow.
Every event is canon.
Wow.
Every
What?
event is canon. Like really, I messed up so much. But what am I gonna say? No, don't make that mistake. No, don't do that. I mean, it shapes you, and I wouldn't trade the road that I took to get here for anything. I was so frustrated for so many years thinking, I'm doing all I do is regional. Then, finally make it to Broadway. All I do is understudy. Now all I do is swing. They'll never see me as anything other than a swing. And then you just, it's part of it, man. And you spend so much time.
Yeah.
Would I still do this job for the rest of my life if I knew I would be a swing forever? And the answer was yes, I would. And once I made that peace with myself, I think I became a lot happier. You know what I mean? Like stop trying to think of this as a straight climb. It's all over the place, and you just gotta. That's what the job is. And if you're into that, cool.
Oh, it is the greatest piece of advice that I've ever gotten is if you could see yourself doing anything else in the world, do that. Because
Yeah,
people would dedicate their lives to theater. They're hungry for
yeah,
it. And I always say,
yeah,
I am so grateful to have been bit by the theater bug because it's who I am at the core of who I am.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
the greatest gift I've ever been given.
yeah. I wouldn't trade this job for anything. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's the best. Ken, thank you so much for joining me on
Allison, this is
this
great.
journey.
You are so good at this. My
Oh,
gosh, so prepared.
oh,
You're the
it means
Nardwar of the theater world.
Oh, I try. I mean, you're truly one of my greatest inspirations, and I'm just
Oh,
in constant awe of your incredible talent and your journey. And you've had such a meaningful impact on my life and my theater journey. And
oh my
I do have
gosh.
to say, like, thank you for teaching me to always leave the light on. It's such a
Oh,
privilege.
Alice,
It's such a
my
privilege.
pleasure.
I'm so
It,
grateful for you. Thank you for inspiring me.
thank you for having me here tonight.
Oh,